Brewing Network.
Good evening, everybody. I hope you enjoyed Sean's meal. It was pretty incredible. Cooked with beer and paired with beer. I want to give a quick shout out to the guy I'm going to introduce, because in 1993, this conference was in Portland, Oregon, and there was a home brewer whose picture's on the hazelnut brown bottle, Chris Studak, who's a member of the Cascade Brewers Society, and he was asked to make the commemorative beer for the conference, and he didn't have enough space to make it at his house, so he called up his buddy at Rogue and said, I need help. Can you help me brew this beer? This beer has won 2 gold medals at GABF. It's been in production since 1993. Styles ebb, styles flow, styles change, but this is a benchmark. It's brewed with Oregon filberts, hazelnuts. It's a brown ale. It's a beautiful style. It pairs beautifully with cheese, and John Meyer makes it. And I'm so happy to have worked with John for 2 decades. It's my privilege to introduce John Meyer from Rogue Ales.
Hello. I'm not a long-winded person, so don't expect any more than about 1 minute. Hey, I really like to thank Sean. I don't know where he went, but he cooked with 8 kegs of our beer. And we donated 75 cases per course for this event. So thank you all for coming to this conference and for the dinner. Philly, I was here for the first time when they had the first beer week. It was back in March, and this is really a fabulous beer town, great food, culture, really nice people. So this is a perfect place for a home brewer event. Hey, there's one thing I like to say is I was walking around Club Night, and that's where I get the inspiration, and I've told you this before, but from you guys, man. You're on the cutting edge of creativity. And I went by one booth, they had all these single hop beers, and I was tasting them, and I go, geez, I never heard of that hop. I said, these guys are using hops I never heard of. I said, these guys aren't calling me on the phone, telling me what's going on. But it's kind of hard to implement a new hop into your system if you're fairly large. You could play with it on a small scale. But I was talking to Mitch Steele. I ran into him, and we were talking about that. Say, hey, these guys, they're using these hops we never heard of. And I said, yeah. But you know what? Mitch comes from home brewing roots like I do, and we'll never forget the roots where we dedicated our lives to. And I've been in the business for 26 years on a brew house floor, and I started brewing in 1981, and it's been a great time, and finally made a living a few years ago, and so anyhow, thanks for your inspiration, and keep on doing what you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, John. Before I go any further, I want to say something that I attempted to say during the welcome toast. However, the acoustics were really terrible, so I don't think that most of you actually heard it. No, the people right in front of me did hear it. It's true. On Monday, just a couple of days from now, homebrewing is going to become legal in Mississippi. And that will be the first time since before Prohibition that homebrewing was legal in all 50 states. The last 2 states legalized homebrewing this year, Alabama and Mississippi, and there are people in this room who helped that happen. So I would like, from Alabama, if you're here, Brant Warren, John Tipton, Scott Oberman, Rich Edmondson, if you're here, please stand up. And from Mississippi, Mark Cowley. These guys are my homebrew heroes. We've worked on this for many, many years to make this happen, and their determination and perseverance really has been an inspiration to me, because it was tough going, and there was a long time in which we just thought it was never going to happen. But they kept at it, and it happened. And on Monday, I think we all need to raise a toast to homebrewing being legal in all 50 states. So all 50 states day on Monday, don't forget. Okay. For this year's National Homebrewers Conference, we had 70 sponsors. We can't do this conference without their support, but really tremendous to see all those folks from the industry, both the craft beer industry as well as homebrewing, come together and support this great event. So can we get a big round of applause for all those sponsors? Thank you. Thank you so much. I'd also like to give a shout out to the Brewing Network for providing a live broadcast. So, and for those of you out there in podcast world, we are grateful that you can join us. Thank you to the Brewing Network. I'd also like to thank my colleagues on the Brewers Association staff. These guys have been working really, guys and gals, have been working very, very hard all not just this week, but for the previous year plus to bring this together. So it's truly inspiring to me to work with these folks. Whenever you see them wearing that staff badge, please shake their hand, give them a pat on the back, because they've been really working hard this week. And speaking of working hard, our beer services crew have been running around all week bringing you beer. These guys are awesome. It's very challenging work, and we are very lucky to have them. So thank you, guys. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Yeah. Now it's Chad Mosier, Randy Griggs, Rodney Bice, Tommy Cunningham, Mark Stepp, John Esser, Tim Walburn, and Mike Aronson. So thank you, guys. Next up, I would like to bring up the people who brought the conference to Philadelphia. The Philadelphia Local Committee, if you could get up, come on down to the stage. You know who you are. These are the people who work behind the scenes, encouraged us to think that Philadelphia was going to be a good location. What do you think? Was it a good location to have this conference? I agree. Josh Wiekert, who's one of the co-chairs of the local committee, has a few words to say about his crew.
First of all, I wanted to start just by saying that Ben Franklin once said, well done is better than well said. And on behalf of this committee and the AHA, and really all of you, I mean, well done. What a great conference it's been. It's been such a blast. And I'm sure that's true of everyone up here. We're going to thank all of these people by name in just a second, but to start, you may have noticed that there's a name on our local organizing committee list, and that's of our honorary chairman, a gentleman named Al Hazen. And many of you know Al in this room. Al was very much a part of getting the conference brought to Philadelphia, and I know Al would give anything to be sitting here with us tonight. Because of some ongoing medical issues, he wasn't able to make it, so I just wanted to briefly say that Al is a character in every sense of the word. If he were here, he'd probably tell me to just shut up and move on and let's keep drinking. But so I just want to say, just a quick toast from all of us to Al. This is for you, buddy. We miss you, and keep hanging in there. Thank you. Cheers. Can I set that down somewhere? Thank you. On our local committee here, I mean, this conference represents over 3 years of effort by everyone at the AHA and a lot of these people up here behind me, and we do them a great disservice if we didn't recognize them by name. My fellow co-organizers Bruce Fabionis and David Hausman here have been much more important than I have in all this. I'm just the only one who's not scared to talk in front of all of you, so I get to look good. Our speakers committee is comprised of Matt Bobiak and Bill McGeaney. They brought you all these wonderful seminars and culled through many, many proposals, picked out the best ones for you, and I think you'd agree they've been fantastic. Our volunteer program, headed by Carl Smith. Where's Carl? Carl's right here. This is the hardest working guy at the conference right here. He and Melissa Titus have been working hard on that. Andy Hale and Mike Lessa. I don't know if they came up. They're there. Well, Mike's here anyway. Andy's off drowning a star. There he is. There's Andy out in the crowd, handling the many, many beers that had to be judged in that final round there. Speaking of beer, our commemorative beer committee, Tom Egan, Mike Kowalski, and Jeff Washaleski. I don't know if you guys have opened those up yet, but I know we all got to taste them at the opening toast and the keynote address, and you have a couple to take home. Enjoy those. Handling operations in the social club and working only slightly less hard than Carl were Dave Barber and Ron Price, keeping all the beer flowing over there. Our Club Night and Pro Brewers Night team is comprised of Brent McAloney, Mike Kowalski, Mike Patton, and Ron Price. Again, Ron's really busy. Ron's also on the governing committee of the AHA, so he's been doing triple duty for us. Pre-conference events, I don't know if anybody got to take advantage of any of the sites around town, but that was Brent again, John Quiris, Mike Todd, and Les White. Coordinating our great BJCP reception was Dave Barber and Jeff Washaleski. Handling local information and lots of the deals you've all been getting around town at these great bars were Greg Bishop, Jason Gaspar-Holvat, Scott Rudich, and John Quiris. And my wife has been in charge of spouse and guest events in just a perfectly fitting title for her. Great picture, thank you. I must say that I'm sure all these guys say the same. We are very much looking forward to the conference next year in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Mainly because it's Crispy's problem to put it on now, so we can all, just kind of relax and enjoy ourselves. But we are very much looking forward to that. We want to thank you all for being in our city. Thank you so much for doing everything you did to make this a wonderful conference for us. Travel safe, and we hope to see you all soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Josh. We have some gifts here for you up on stage. Where did we put them? Somewhere right back there. Not the Utopias. So, there you go. So, you can each grab one of these, and Josh, can you hand those out to your crew when you get a moment or get a chance? But help yourself. Thank you so much.
Team. Oh yeah. Wait. you got to get a handshake. Get a handshake from
Thank you so much. I love this.
Thank you. Get these, everybody.
Thank you, Dan.
You're welcome.
All right, and Josh mentioned Grand Rapids. To tell us a little bit about next year's conference, we've got Chris P. Fry and Fred Bonjour. These guys are going to whet our appetites for spending a week in Michigan next year.
Wow, 2,200 of you guys. We got room for 4,000 next year. It started out many years ago where I had a dream of bringing the conference to Michigan. Hasn't been in Michigan since 2000. We tried. A better conference was selected rather than ours. We persisted. We're bringing it to you next year. We got a great team. Can I ask any of our committee members that are here to stand up, please? Because I know we got some in there. Yeah, there we go. And Crispy's better in a mic than I am, so I'm going to turn it over.
All right, well, as Fred said, we've been trying to get it back to Michigan for 14 years, and we're really excited. But first off, Josh and your team, what a great job. I mean, Philly rocked the house. And I've had the good pleasure to be talking to Sean Paxton for the last couple of days, and he's been drilling me about what's Michigan native, and I'm thinking about the berries, and I'm thinking about the cherries, and I'm thinking about all the various things we're going to have. So he's going to knock it out of the house again, but you guys did a great job. So next year, Grand Rapids, Mashing in Michigan. We've got a great city. We've got a great state. Michigan's called the Great Beer State for a reason. We've got people like Bell's and Founders and Shorts and Dark Horse and Jolly Pumpkin and Bee Nectar Meadery. And our friend Ken Schramm just opened up a meadery, Schramm Mead, for those who've ever read The Complete Mead Maker. And he has said he'd like to come and speak, but this last week I looked at the speakers and I thought to myself, 1,000 people in a room, he's going to be doing Heart of Darkness with an eyeglass dropper. I mean, it's going to be tough. But we're up to the challenge. And in fact, before I go further about Michigan, I'd like to run a little video about Grand Rapids, and then I'll wrap it up.
I'm Amy Sherman, host of the Great American Brew Trail. I want you to come to Beer City, USA, here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Grand Rapids has been named Beer City, USA for the second year in a row. It's the center of Michigan beer culture, inspiring the state's other nearby beer cities, and it's quickly becoming a mecca for beer lovers from around the country. There are 13 breweries of all shapes and sizes within a 20-minute radius of downtown Grand Rapids, including nationally renowned Founders Brewing Company, which boasts 2 beers on the national top 50 craft beer list. But it's not just the number and intensity of breweries that make Grand Rapids Beer City, USA. Grand Rapids is home to the #1 beer bar in the country, Top Cat, the perfect place to expand your beer knowledge and sample a wide variety of ales from throughout Michigan and beyond. All this professional brewing expertise is matched by a thriving home brewing community. After all, most of the big-name brewers got started in their basements and backyards. And in Grand Rapids, home brewers are supported by the nation's #1 beer grocer. Siciliano's not only stocks a tremendous variety of home brewing supplies and equipment, they support home brewers through numerous events and educational opportunities. Grand Rapids' passion for beer is an extension of the Great Beer State. Michigan is one of the fastest growing states for craft breweries and home brewers alike. We are definitely mashing in Michigan.
Mashing in Michigan.
Mashing in Michigan.
Mashing in Michigan.
Awards, beer, culture, beer, camaraderie, and beer. What more do you need? How about exciting attractions and events for families, groups, students, culture lovers, foodies, and so much more? But really, we are Beer City, USA. And if you want to know the recipe for the best of everything beer, it's this. So come to Grand Rapids for the 2014 Homebrewers Conference. Come to Beer City, USA.
All right. Well, I'm going to add and finish with the fact that I'm so very proud of what Michigan does. I like to also call it the balanced state. We've got great hoppy beers. We've got great sour beers, great barrel programs. We also got a tremendous fruit crop of tart cherries and Montmorency. God, that's hard with a few beers. Apples, berries, getting us, Sean, food for next year. And, we're going to really kind of rock it. We're going to have the best we can. And you saw in that video there was a little bit of a play with our logo. And this is going to be the audience participation part, because I want to get a little promo video for next year. Are my friends from the Brewing Network ready over there? Okay, so this is what we're going to do. You saw what they said, we're mashing in Michigan. So I'm going to ask you 3 times, what are we doing next year? And you're going to take your right fist and you're going to pump. Sorry, you got to put your beer down. Pump. We're mashing in Michigan. Why am I going to do it 3 times? Because the first time it's going to be horrible. And then the second time we'll get in sync, and the third time is going to be the money shot. So are we ready? We're going to try with the first one. What are we doing in 2014? We're mashing in Michigan. All right, one more time. What are we doing in 2014? We're mashing in Michigan. This time with feeling. What are we doing in 2014? We're mashing in Michigan. See you all next year.
Thank you, Crispy. Thank you, Fred. Next on our agenda, I'd like to bring up AHA Governing Committee Chair, Jake Keeler.
Hello, everybody. How are we doing tonight? This is a very large group of people, so I'll be reading off some notes. My name is Jay Keeler, as Gary mentioned. I'm the chair of your AHA Governing Committee. One of the best parts of being the chair is presenting the American Home Brewers Association Governing Committee Recognition Award at this banquet. What is this award all about? It's very simple. It honors outstanding service to the community of homebrewers. In years past, it has gone to the likes of homebrew legends like Fred Eckhart, Greg Noonan, John Palmer, Jim Cook, Ray Daniels, Randy Mosier, and most recently, Gordon Strong. Individuals that have given so much to our hobby and our way of life. How does one make this list? Bribes. Lots of bribes. No, the 15 members of the AHA-GC come up with a nominee list, and we vote on that list every year. This year's recipient easily fits into the pantheon of past award winners. I've had the pleasure of knowing him through my work in the home brewing and craft brewing industries, and I'm always humbled by his devotion and commitment to this wonderful hobby that we share. To help present this year's award, I've brought up fellow AHA Governing Committee member Justin Crosley of the Brewing Network to say a few words.
Oh, I'm nervous. I don't get nervous very often.
Don't do that.
Can you guys hear me all right? Unlike John Mayer, I am long-winded, but I'm going to try my best to keep it short. Yeah, I know. I know. But don't worry, this is important. I will say, I apologize right now. I get a little emotional about these things. I almost want to bring up Tasty and Ray Daniels so I won't be the only one crying on stage when I give this. Thank you to the governing committee for allowing me to be the one to present this, because it's important to me too. I do like to keep things a little bit interactive, so we're going to play a word game tonight. It's a little word game. It's just a tiny little word game as part of the speech, and I'm going to ask you all to participate in the end. We're all going to yell out the little word together, because I think that kind of stuff is fun. But when you've discovered the word in the middle of the speech, if you have, just don't say it. Don't yell it. Save it all to the end, and we're gonna get it all out at once. All right. In my short time as part of this incredible hobby, I've come to realize that it's the little things. It's the tiniest of things that make a difference in people's lives. And they make a difference in our beer. It's the subtle nuances of hops, or it's taking just a little more time to talk to a brewer about his beer that makes all the big things that we do, like this conference, come together as a whole, as a meaningful whole. And tonight's recipient has dedicated his life to the little things. And as part of that, there's a little word that has changed all of our lives. And it's a transformative word, really. The thing that it represents has, I would say, transformed the human race, just as it transforms our beer. It transformed this year's recognition award recipient's idea of what his world would look like, and in turn, transformed how we go about one of our favorite parts of life, making beer. So, we'll come back to that word. But there are other important words that come to mind with regard to tonight's recipient, just like previous year's recipients. Passion, commitment, loyalty, dedication, friendship. These are the words and ideas that guide great people, and they can all be found in this person's life and his life's work. So here's some examples. He's a dedicated teacher of brewers and scientists, and has been educating eager brewing minds for years through books, classes, lectures, seminars here at the NHC and elsewhere around the world, and even taking the time to sit around with a bunch of douchey little internet radio kids every now and then. Yeah. He is one of few extremely successful craft beer and homebrew professionals that can be found right on the floor of the NHC with you and me year after year, dedicating his time and knowledge and also listening to what you have to say, learning from you and your experience as we learn from him. The processes that he's developed over years and years of research have absolutely revolutionized not just homebrew, but craft beer. He's a dedicated family man, and he also treats his friends just as they're part of his family. On a personal note, when my stepfather passed away a few years ago, I needed to get away. He brought me into his home. He took me in like a brother. He fed me beer like a brewer. Yeah, and he helped me move on like a friend. I could easily go so far as to say that my own career, the company I founded dedicated to homebrewing, may never have survived without the mentorship and friendship that this man has supported me with. So in a sense, whatever knowledge the Brewing Network has been able to share is really a derivative of the knowledge, time, and support given by this friend of beer. Culmination of all his dedication and hours of research, the time with you talking about beer, all of that has resulted in a product so vastly different than what our predecessors had that it's now nearly impossible to fail at making good beer. Nearly impossible. But that's not his fault. And by the way, he started this whole thing out of the trunk of his car. He's also fun like a beer guy should be. I've gotten into trouble with him all over the world. I can't tell you most of the things that would be actually funny. But I will say that every stupid idea I've ever had at 3 a.m. when we should have another beer, or that we should go sing karaoke like a virgin at a dive bar in Florida, and that it would get us laid if we did, and it would be funny. He was like, yeah, we didn't get laid and it wasn't funny. All right, I'll get to the end. Let's get back to our tiny, microscopic, microbiological little word game. And let me give you something to try so you can really understand what I mean about how much this guy's career and what he's done means to us, okay? I'm going to give you something to try. When you see him in the halls or at the next event, say this word to him, and we're going to shout out the word together. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 in the word. But say this word to him and watch his face light up. After years and years of research and all the time he's spent in this, just watch him get excited about talking about this one ingredient in beer that we need so much to make the thing that is our favorite. One tiny little word we're all going to yell together at once. Tonight's honoree, my good friend, often likes to say, "It depends." But tonight I'd like to change that to "It matters." It matters what you've done for us, and you deserve to be honored for your work and the tiny living thing that you've helped develop for us that has made our beer, our life, that much better. That one little thing, that one little word that I want everyone to yell together with me so we can bring him up here. And I hope I gave you enough clues that I didn't screw this up. 1, 2, 3. Yeast! My friend, Chris White.
Wow, thank you. That's a great honor. I was sitting there earlier thinking when the talk started that that'd be nice to win that someday. You do a lot of things, and it's great to get, that somebody's noticed, I guess. So thank you, Jamie and Kara and the other people at White Labs and Mike White and my parents and all of you. It's a great honor. Thank you very much.
Just real quick, probably more important than the plaque, my friends on the GC, especially Roxanne, help me get your favorite food on earth. Skyline Chili from Cincinnati. This man lives on it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Chris White.
Chris White. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Jake. Next up, we have the drawing for the Lallemand Scholarship. And to help me with this, I've got Keith Lemke from Lallemand. Hi! How are you, Keith? I'm great. Not as great as whoever's name you draw out of this bucket.
I have notes as well. Thank you so much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the AHA event. First of all, thank you to everybody at the Brewers Association and the AHA for allowing us to be part of this great event every year. I can't believe the sea of homebrewing faces that are out there. And we, of course, at Siebel Institute benefit dramatically from the enthusiasm that goes on in the home brewing end of the spectrum. Homebrewing drives craft brewing like you can't believe, and around the world, we are getting students from South America, from Europe, from every point in the globe who are just so entranced by what's happening within the American craft brewing industry. And all of that is driven by the enthusiasm that goes on in home brewing. And thanks a lot for allowing us to be part of this every year. What we're going to do now is we're going to draw from this magnificent bucket of names, addresses, and serial numbers that are members of the American Homebrewers Association. And this will be for a web-based concise course. The web-based concise course is worth approximately $4,000. It is a 3-month-long professional level brewing course that you can take from the comfort of your home while you have things boiling on your stove that you add hops to, and while you're in your fuzzy slippers and bathrobe. And you can not only become a better home brewer, you can use this as a gateway to a career in professional brewing, should you like to look for a low-paying, high-stress job in your future. Now, if you don't win this time around, don't feel bad, because if any of you use Danstar Yeast, save the packages. And if you go to danstaryeast.com, we have the Beer School 2014 competition, which is going on. You can send empty Danstar Yeast packages in for a random draw for a web-based concise course that's going to be drawn in December. So yes, you have another chance at winning this sort of thing. So now I shall reach into this handsomely adorned bucket and draw out a name of a lucky recipient. Don't all rush up here at one time. Is David Moen of Stewartston, PA in the house? He is not. Do you know him? You want to change your name? You got ID? I'm going to read out his email address so you can all text him. It is no. David Moen, wherever you are in the world, please come to Siebel Institute. Thank you very much, Gary, and to the AHA. Let's move forward.
Thank you very much, Keith. Congratulations, David. moving on in our ceremony, we are getting into the National Homebrew Competition Awards Ceremony. For this year's competition, there were 7,757 entries judged, making it once again the world's largest beer competition. Here in Philadelphia, just a couple of days ago, 894 entries were judged in the final round in 28 categories. First round judging centers, there were 11 of them, and there were 2,187 of you participating in the competition this year. We can't run this competition without sponsors. We have a number of sponsors that sponsor every category of the competition, so thank you to them. And thank you also to our major award sponsors, Samuel Adams, sponsor of the Ninkasi Award, DIY Beer Coopers, sponsor of the Homebrew Club of the Year Award, Woodchuck Cider, sponsor of Cider Maker of the Year, Muntins, sponsor of Homebrewer of the Year, Redstone Meadery, sponsor of Mead Maker of the Year, and More Beer, sponsor of the Gambrinus Club Award. I'd also like to thank all of the site directors and judge coordinators who helped put on those regional competitions. We can't do it without those volunteers. We can't do it without all of the judges that are involved in both the first round and final round, all of the stewards. You guys are awesome because this competition can't happen without all of you. We are so totally dependent on those judges and stewards. For those of you who aren't yet judges or haven't tried stewarding, I highly encourage you to do so because we can't run these competitions without you. So thank you so much to all of the volunteers that have been involved in this year's competition. In Atlanta, Georgia, we had Phil Farrell running the competition. Thank you, Phil. Mr. Chicken. In Denver, Don Blake and Greg Toothaker. In Kansas City, Steve Cook and John Fowler. In Milwaukee, Bruce Berger and Brian Joas. In New York City, Kenneth Hettinger and David Sherfy. In Pleasanton, California, Mike Riddle and Paul Kiefer. St. Paul, Minnesota, Kurt Stock and Steve Fletty. San Diego, Jenny DeRose and Kelsey McNair. Seattle, Washington, Peter Twigg and Steve Antock. In Tulsa, Oklahoma, Desiree Knott and Peter Polsinski. Zanesville, Ohio, Frank Berrickman and Bill Bopp. And for the final round here in Philadelphia, Andy Hale and Mike Lessa. Thank you guys and gals so much. We so much appreciate all the hard work that you put into it. Judging those first round, every first round site, judging around 750 entries. Final round, almost 900 entries. It is a huge amount of work, so thank you so much to all of you. All right, and now for the medal winners. So as we do this, what we want, if you've won an award, please come down to the stage. You're going to enter on this side of the stage. Janice will give you your medal. You will exit to this side of the stage and take away some of those fabulous prizes over there. If we call you up onto the stage for one of the trophies like this one, you get to take away something like this fine stuff that we've got up here. Are you ready? Category 1, light lager with 203 entries, sponsored by 5 Star Chemicals and Supply. The bronze medal goes to William Beeson, Denver, Colorado, with the Rockhopper Sprue Club, with the Munich Helles. The silver medal goes to Aaron Smith of Atascadero, California, San Luis Obispo Brewers, with a Dortmunder Export. And the gold medal goes to Annie Johnson of Sacramento, California, ESP. Yes, I should have forewarned you. You need to stop for a photograph. Congratulations. Oh. Okay. For the rest of these, actually, we'll take, if you are the medal recipient, please do come down. If you are not the medal recipient, we will ship you your medals and your prizes. So. We will not ship you your medals and prizes if you are not the award winner. What I meant was, if you are not the medal recipient, please do not come down and accept the medal on behalf of someone else. Was that more clear? I've totally lost you. All right. Moving on, category 2. Pilsner. Yeah. Category 2, Pilsner, with 209 entries, sponsored by Seven Bridges Cooperative. The bronze medal goes to Philip Jensen, State College, PA, with Homebrew Talk Brewers, with a classic American Pilsner. The silver medal goes to Jim Satin, Saline, Michigan, Ann Arbor Brewers Guild, with the Bohemian Pilsner. And the gold medal goes to Steve Mifsud, Santa Rosa, California, from the Brewing Network, with a German Pilsner. Oh. Congratulations. Thank you. You get up on stage.
Yes, you're well dressed.
Moving on to category 3, European Amber Lager with 159 entries, sponsored by Brewers Publications. The bronze medal goes to Patrick Saucier, Southington, Connecticut, with the Brewing Network, bringing an Oktoberfest Märzen. The silver medal goes to Nick Talkers of Monroe, Ohio, for the Bohemian Bohemian Brewing League. with an Oktoberfest Märzen. And the gold medal in European Amber Lager, John Watson, Antioch, California, Diablo Order of Zymircal Enthusiasts with an Oktoberfest. We'll get this dialed in by category 28. Category 4, Dark Lager, with 193 entries, sponsored by Breeze Malt and Ingredients Company. The bronze medal goes to Michael Wilcox, Wichita, Kansas. Wichita Homebrewers Organization with a Schwarzbier. The silver medal goes to Dan George, Westerville, Ohio. Socio Olatangi and Darby Zymergis with a Munich Dunkel. And the gold medal in category 4 goes to Jeffrey Lewis, Hillard, Ohio, from Sods with a Schwarzbier. Category 5, Bach, with 216 entries, sponsored by the Washington Hop Commission. Dennis Talley of Las Cruces, New Mexico, with a Doppelbock. And the silver medal goes to Dave Baller of Austin, Texas, with an Eisbock. And the gold medal in Bach goes to Dennis Decker of Pleasant Valley, New York, Dunedin Brewers Guild with a Maibach. Category 6, light hybrid beer, 343 entries. Sponsored by Cargill World Select Cargill Malt. The bronze medal goes to Sean Sonabend of West St. Paul, Minnesota, St. Paul Homebrewers Club. The Kolsch. The silver medal goes to Dan Lechner of Lawton, Michigan with a cream ale. And the gold medal in light hybrid goes to Mac Butcher of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Fellowship of Oklahoma Ale Makers with an American wheat or rye beer. Category 7, Amber Hybrid, 156 entries, sponsored by Grape and Granary. The bronze medal goes to Chris Rauschuber. Austin, Texas, with the Austin Zealots for a California Common. The silver medal goes to Jeremy Allison of Oak Harbor, Washington. Whidbey Island Zymergy Association with a Northern German alt beer. And the gold medal in amber hybrid goes to Jeffrey Jantz of Albuquerque, New Mexico, Dukes of Ale, for a Northern German alt beer. Oh, wait, you got to get your picture taken. Oh. Thank you. Category 8, English Pale Ale with 211 entries, sponsored by St. Louis Wine and Beer Making. The bronze medal goes to Mark Girard, John Goslin, Greg McCullough, and Heath Ayrett from Annandale, Virginia, with Brewers United for Real Potables, a special best premium bitter. The silver medal goes to John Bede of Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Tennessee Valley Homebrewers with an extra special bit or strong bitter. And the gold medal in English Pale Ale goes to Patrick Collins of Greensboro, North Carolina. Battleground Brewers with a standard or an ordinary bitter. Category 9, Scottish and Irish Ale, 273 entries in this category. Brew Brothers Homebrew Products sponsored. The bronze medal goes to Jeffrey Oberlin of Friendswood, Texas, Bay Area Mastronauts with a 60 shilling. The silver medal goes to Dennis Sonis of Phoenix, Arizona, with the Arizona Society of Homebrewers for a strong Scotch ale. And the gold medal, category 9, goes to Russell Bruner of Tamarack, Florida, Fort Lauderdale area brewers for an 80 shilling.
Thank you very much.
Category 10, American Ale. This is our largest category with 598 entries. Sponsored by BJ's Restaurant and Brew House. The bronze medal goes to Graydon Newman with Lawrenceville, New Jersey, with the Brewing Network, brewing an American Amber Ale. The silver medal goes to Greg Rasmussen of Forestville, California, with the Sonoma Bureaucrats, with an American Brown Ale. And the gold medal in category 10 goes to Heath Haynes of Lake Havasu City, Arizona, Mojave Ale and Lager Tasting Society with an American Pale Ale.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Category 11, English Brown Ale with 215 entries. Sponsored by Alternative Beverage. The bronze medal goes to Greg Irving of Strongville, Ohio, Society of Northeast Ohio Brewers with a mild. The silver medal goes to Scott Lothamer, Moraga, California, in the really shiny pants, representing Diablo Order of Zymirical Enthusiasts for a Northern English Brown Ale. And the gold medal in English Brown Ale goes to Ben Adair of Blaine, Minnesota, with a mild. Oh, you gotta get a picture. Okay. Congratulations, Doc. Category 12. Category 12, Porter with 335 entries, sponsored by Deschutes Brewery. The bronze medal goes to Bill Bopp of Westerville, Ohio. Siauto Olatangi and Darby Zymergis. Thanks for coming up with a name so hard to pronounce. Baltic Porter. Silver medal in Porter goes to Sean Kampshoff from Minneapolis, Minnesota, representing the Minnesota Homebrewers Association with a brown porter. And the gold medal. He's taking a, oh, what did you say? The gold medal goes to Jeffrey Oberlin of Friendswood, Texas for the Bay Area Mastronauts with a Baltic Porter. Oh, no, you got to go this way. Sorry. Congratulations, Sean. Congratulations, Ben. Congratulations. Moving on to category 13, Stout with 576 whopping entries, sponsored by Brew and Grow. The bronze medal goes to Daniel Schroeder of Chula Vista, California with an Imperial Stout. The silver medal goes to Eric Ruziak. Ruzikia? San Jose, California, the Grain Trust with an American Stout. And the gold medal in Stout goes to Pat Craddock of Royal Oak, Michigan. Cunahan Guild of Brewers Homebrew Club with an Imperial Stout. Moving on to category 14, India Pale Ale. With 584 entries, sponsored by SS Steiner Incorporated, the bronze medal goes to Dan Lechner of Lawton, Michigan, with an American IPA. The silver medal goes to Kelsey McNair of San Diego, California, representing Quaff, also with an American IPA. And the gold medal goes to Gregory Ulanz from Fredericksburg, Virginia, with an American IPA. So we are now halfway through the categories, which brings us to category 15. Take our shirts off, Push? Go ahead. We'll pan around just so everybody can see you. Category 15, German wheat and rye beer with 194 entries. Sponsored by Widmer Brothers Brewing Company. The bronze medal goes to Rodney Gibbsy of Lombard, Illinois, with the Urban Knaves of Grain, with a Weizenbock. The silver medal goes to Robert North of Manchester, New Hampshire, Brew Free or Die, with a Weizenbock. And the gold medal in German wheat and rye beer goes to David Barber of Orangeburg, Pennsylvania, Lehigh Valley Homebrewers, with a Weizen beer. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Category 16, Belgian and French Ale, with 560 entries, sponsored by Port Brewing Company and the Lost Abbey. The bronze medal goes to Sean Scott of McAllister, Oklahoma, with a Fellowship of Oklahoma Ale Makers, with a Belgian and specialty ale. The silver medal goes to Joshua Mann of Nipomo, California, San Luis Obispo Brewers, with a Belgian specialty ale. And the gold medal in Belgian and French ale goes to David Jansen of Seattle, Washington, Brewvik, with a Saison. Category 17, Sour Ale, 295 entries, sponsored by Captain Lawrence Brewing Company. New Yorkers are over there. The bronze medal goes to James Dugan, Portland, Oregon, Fruit Lambic. The silver medal goes to Mark Easton of Portland, Oregon, with the Oregon Brew Crew for a Berliner Weiss. And the gold medal in sour ale goes to Andrew Aque of Pittsburgh, PA. Okay. Andrew Okay of Pittsburgh, PA, for a fruit lambic. Congratulations, sir. Thank you.
Thanks.
Category 18, Belgian Strong Ale with 421 entries, sponsored by Dingman's, care of Cargill Malt. The bronze medal goes to Eric Blaine of Staten Island, New York, with a Belgian Dark Strong Ale. The silver medal goes to Brian Schoolcraft and Carl King of Bedford, Texas, of Cap and Hare Homebrew Club, the Belgian Dark Strong Ale. And the gold medal in Belgian Strong Ale goes to Joe Nielsen of Berkeley, Michigan, with a Belgian Triple. You can really taste the beard in that. Category 19. Strong Ale with 277 entries, sponsored by Northern Brewer. The bronze medal goes to Adam Weiss of Walnut Creek, California, my hometown. The Diablo Order of Zymerical Enthusiasts with an American barley wine. And the silver medal goes to Peter Perricone of Carlsbad, California, representing Quaff with an English barley wine. And the gold medal in Strong Ale goes to David Barber of Orwigsburg, Pennsylvania, representing the Lehigh Valley Homebrewers with an American barley wine.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So, what table?
Oh, just go on down there and they will hand you your prizes. Moving on to category 20, fruit beer with 181 entries, sponsored by High Gravity Homebrewing and Winemaking Supplies. The bronze medal goes to Dwight Mulcahy of San Antonio, Texas, Words of Wisdom Homebrewers, with a dark chocolate raspberry ice bock. The silver medal goes to Rick Bobbitt of Thornton, Colorado, from Croc, the Keg Ran Out Club, with a Flanders Red with cherries. And the gold medal goes to Mark Gerard, John Goslin, Greg McCullough, and Heath Errett of Annandale, Virginia, for Brewers United for Real Potables. with a premium American lager with strawberries. Category 21, Spice Herb Vegetable Beer with 311 entries, sponsored by Austin Homebrew Supply. The bronze medal goes to Richard Castle of Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, with a saison with sage, rosemary, thyme, and lemon. The silver medal goes to Deb Locke of St. Paul, Minnesota, Northern Brewer Fermentation Brigade, with a smoked porter with chipotle peppers. And the gold medal in Spice Herb Vegetable Beer goes to Scott Lothamer of Moraga, California, representing Diablo Order of Zymerical Enthusiasts, with a Northern English Brown Ale with hazelnuts. Category 22, smoked flavored and wood aged beer with 384 entries, sponsored by Alaskan Brewing Company. The bronze medal goes to Rives Borland of Redondo Beach, California, representing the Strand Brewers, with a rum barrel aged Russian Imperial Stout. The silver medal goes to William Beeson of Denver, Colorado, representing the Rockhoppers Brew Club with a classic Rausch beer. And the gold medal goes to Matthew Welts of Cornwall, Vermont, representing the Green Mountain Mashers with a smoked Helles. Congratulations. Thank you. Category 23, specialty beer with 359 entries, sponsored by the Hops Shack. The bronze medal goes to Justin Rogers of Hopkinton, Massachusetts, representing the Brewing Network with a wheat wine. The silver medal goes to Simon Tepes of Brooklyn, New York, New York City Homebrewers Guild, with a Rye Imperial IPA. And the gold medal in specialty beer goes to Greg Reshetloff, Davidsonville, Maryland, with the Midnight Homebrewers League, for a Grotzer. All right. Now, leaving the beer categories and moving into mead, we have category 24, traditional mead, with 78 entries, sponsored by Moonlight Meadery. The bronze medal goes to Harold Gubranson, San Diego, California, representing Quaff with a sweet mead. The silver medal in traditional mead goes to Brian Eichhorn from Chicago, Illinois, representing Homebrewers Pride of the South Side with sweet mead. And the gold medal in traditional mead goes to Susan and Bob Rood from Harwood, North Dakota, Prairie Homebrewing Companions with a sweet mead with orange blossom honey. Congratulations. HAGC represent.
Gary, I need you in here.
Category 25, Mellow Mel, also known as Fruit Mead, for those who didn't know. 119 entries, sponsored by Moonlight Meadery. The bronze medal goes to Peter Polsky from Tulsa, Oklahoma, Fellowship of Oklahoma Ale Makers, with a mead with raspberry, blackberry, and blueberry. The silver medal and Mellow Mel goes to Chris Smith of Minneapolis, Minnesota, representing the Northern Brewer Fermentation Brigade with a Gewürztreiber. And the gold medal goes to Matt Whitty of Minneapolis, Minnesota, Minnesota Homebrewers Association, with a key lime and wildflower honey mead. Category 26. Other mead with 93 entries, sponsored by Celestial Meads. The bronze medal goes to Eric Holden of Temecula, California. Temecula Valley Homebrewers Association. Mead with coconut lime and wildflower honey. The silver medal goes to Wesley Underwood of Westminster, Colorado, representing the Keg Ran Out Club, with an iced oak mead with buckwheat honey, raisins, and cloves. It's a good thing they didn't have much more in there, because it wouldn't have fit on there. Gold medal goes to Mark Tanner of Oak Harbor, Washington, representing Whidbey Island Zymergy Association, with a strawberry, rhubarb, and blackberry mead. Moving into the cider categories. Category 27, Standard Cider and Perry, with 103 entries, sponsored by Woodchuck Hard Cider. The bronze medal goes to Dennis Talley of Las Cruces, New Mexico, for a common cider. The silver medal goes to Melissa Allison of Oak Harbor, Washington, representing Whidbey Island Zymergy Association, for a common cider. And the gold medal goes to Tavish Sullivan of Bothell, Washington, Greater Everett Brewers with a common cider. Congratulations.
I want a Washington picture. Get up here. I'm not going to pick you up this time, I promise. Can we get him up? I want a Washington. Let's watch it. Top 2 or 3. We good?
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, bro.
And category 28, our last category, specialty cider and perry with 96 entries, sponsored by Woodchuck Hard Cider. The bronze medal goes to Brett Glenna of Lakeville, Minnesota, Minnesota Homebrewers Association with a pear cider. The silver medal goes to Rodney Gibbsy of Lombard, Illinois, representing Urban Knaves of Grain with a cherry cider. And the gold medal goes to Donald Boyle of Colonia, New Jersey, Woodbridge Homebrewers Ale and Lager Enthusiast Society with a common cider with jalapenos. Congratulations.
Thank you, Gary.
Congratulations. Well, that brings us to our National Homebrew Competition Major Awards. First up, we have Cider Maker of the Year. Would you like to hold up the Cider Maker? The recipient of the Cider Maker of the Year award will receive this fabulous trophy, which those of you in the back probably can't see, but it's got a tree with an apple on it. It's really, really, really cool. The Cider Maker of the Year this year is Tavish Sullivan, both Washington Greater Everett Brewers with a common cider. And the Mead Maker of the Year sponsored by Redstone Meadery, is Mark Tanner of Oak Harbor, Washington. Whidbey Island Zymergy Association with a strawberry rhubarb blackberry mead. Next up, we have the Homebrewer of the Year award, and for this award, I would like to bring up Terry McNeil from our sponsor for the award, Muttons, to help us present this year's winner.
Do you want to say a few words? Sure. Yeah? No, it's... Yes, okay. So it's a real honor to be here tonight to present this award. Just being in front of the AHA is a real pleasure and honor for me and for Muntons. I believe I had to ask Charlie Papazian to see how many years Muntons has actually been giving this award, and it turns out it's some 30 years. So it's a real pleasure for me to be here tonight to present this award in person. Thanks, everyone.
Since 1979. Now I put down the trophy so I can announce the winner. And the winner is Annie Johnson of Sacramento, California, representing the East Sacramento Brewers with a light American lager. Unfortunately, I don't believe Annie Johnson is with us tonight. But this is the first time in 30 years that a solo female has taken the Homebrewer of the Year award. Congratulations, Annie. And that brings us to the Ninkasi Award, sponsored by Samuel Adams. The Ninkasi Award represents the winningest brewer in the second round of in the final round of the National Homebrew Competition. The winner for this competition must place in at least one of the 23 beer categories. And the winner of this year's Ninkasi Award Erin Glass, my wife, sneaking past the front of the stage. The Ninkasi Award goes to David Barber of Orangeburg, Pennsylvania, Lehigh Valley Homebrewers. It's designed to do that. All right, that brings us to the Club Awards. To help us announce the Gambrinus Club Award, sponsored by More Beer, I'd like to bring up David Wonder of More Beer.
Doing fantastic, man. First off, I just wanted to thank the AHA for letting us sponsor this award once again this year. The beauty of this conference is that it's not about, the beauty of this conference is that you get to meet so many great people. It's not about the passion, it's about the passion that you put into this. And this is exactly why we love to sponsor this award. It's not about the size of your club, but your passion for making great beer. So thank you so much.
You want to hold up the trophy? And the winner of this year's Gambrinus Club Award, which goes to the club, pardon me, goes to the club that garners the most final round points per total club entries. The club must have a minimum of 5 club members entering in the first round and a minimum of 2 club members advancing to the final round and at least 1 entry placing in the final round. And the winner of this year's Gambrinus Club Award is the Lehigh Valley Homebrewers of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. You can come claim your trophy, you know.
Okay, in the back.
That is so exciting. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations to the Lehigh Valley Homebrewers. And that brings us to the last award of the night. The Homebrew Club of the Year Award, sponsored by DIY Beer Coopers. This award goes to the club garnering the most points in both the national homebrew competition, first round and final round, and the club-only competitions by a margin of 14 points. The Club of the Year Award goes to the Brewing Network, podcasting out of Martinez, California. Come on up.
You know I'm taking that from you, right?
Absolutely.
Why did I even bring it out? Let's give that to one. I wanted this to go to...
Hi, Gary. Yeah.
Get up here, Brewing Network. Come on. I've been waiting to break this stage for 3 years. While our club is getting up here, because there's a lot of them, I want to recognize and give a shout out to the Club Does for really kicking ass in this year's award ceremony. They're a small club that won a whole bunch of medals, and you guys rocked it. Look at that. It's a good club. That's a good-looking club right there.
What's the load bearing weight?
We'd like to thank the Men's Warehouse
Yes, that's my dick.
for sponsoring tonight.
Feels like metal. Oh my God. Eat it!
Congratulations to everybody in the Brewing Network Club. You guys brewed some badass beer. Thanks. Well done.
Thanks, Gary.
Thanks, Gary. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Gary.
Thanks, Gary. Cheers. Congratulations, Gary.
Congratulations to the Brewing Network and to all of tonight's winners. That concludes the National Homebrew Competition Award Ceremony. All of the winners will be available on homebrewersassociation.org. And thank you all for attending this year's conference in Philadelphia. We will see you again in Michigan, Grand Rapids next year. Thank you.
Pale ale is a friend of mine, and I sure like good barley wine. Chocolate porter, cherry stout, don't you know what I am talking about? Don't you give me that American crude, boys, I want a real homebrew. Homebrew, don't you really love it? Homebrew, can't get enough of it. Homebrew, it blows my mind. I love homebrew all the time. Yeah, I think I have me, well, I have me one right now. sure know how to get down. Double and triple on my best friend. I think I'll have them all over again. But don't you give me that American crude. Boy, I want a real homebrew. Homebrew, don't you really love that homebrew? Can't get enough of it. Homebrew, it blows my mind. I love homebrew all of the time. Yeah, I think I'll have me, well, I'll have me one right now. Give me a wheat beer on a hot summer day. A vodka will do me when the skies are gray. I'll take a Belgian brew anytime, and the women think that lambic's fine. But don't you give me that American crude, boys, I want a real homebrew. Homebrew, don't you really love that homebrew? Can't get enough of it. Homebrew, it blows my mind. I love homebrew all of the time. Yeah, I think I'll have me